3, 2, 1, showtime!
Hello, I'm Cade Thomas, and welcome to Double Feature Movie Club. We are back after a, over a year, maybe a year and a half hiatus, to have a little short season 5. I don't know. I thought it would be a fun little thing to do for the summer, and I am joined, as always, with my co-host, Diane. Diane, how you doing?
Hi, Cade. I'm great. How are you, Cade?
Oh, I'm good. This was a surprise. I don't know, and I'm glad that we're doing it. I don't know. It's happening.
Yep, it had to be the Pepsis. Anyway, what did you have a good 4th?
I did have a good 4th. It was a good 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge, 4th of July, fan, but it is I guess I had a 4th. You have a good 4th?
I still have on my 4th attire.
Yeah.
The 4th attire. It smells a little bit like
it's blue.
Charcoal or barbecue and a little bit of beer. And yeah, it's got, it's the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Yeah.
So
no,
it's
the thunderstorm.
For our listeners who only listen to the audio, Diane has stars. I don't know if she has stripes on, but she definitely has the stars.
Stripes are at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
I'm not standing up. So
okay.
I have the blue stars part is the part you can actually see. And anyway, the thunderstorm in the middle of the fireworks was quite a thing. It really was.
Here in Oklahoma, we have, international
that's true.
listeners. Well, there was a storm that rolled through. And I don't know of a better way to celebrate the 4th than listening to Travis Meyer break down the weather. That's what I spent a little bit of it. He had to come in.
Well, of course, all the local weather talent had to come in and talk us through the storm. Yeah. It was a big one. I lost some limbs out of trees and welcome to Oklahoma, because you never know.
Yeah. Exactly.
What's gonna happen.
I guess we should announce that the 2 movies that we are watching and we have watched and we will be talking about are 2 movies that were released the same day on a weekend 30 years ago in 1996, Independence Day and Phenomenon. One of them perhaps has a little bit more cultural relevance in today's world than the other. And just for everyone to know, I did really, really try to get our second film. It was always going to be, the first film was always going to be Independence Day. The second film, I really tried to make Theodore Rex, one of the Whoopi Goldberg dinosaur comedy film, and Diane vetoed that, so we
vetoed it.
We watched
for our listeners, for our listeners and our viewers. I did that for you.
Yeah, which I don't know.
You shouldn't ask people to watch movies that have won multiple Razzie Awards.
Yeah.
You really shouldn't. It's cruel.
It's cruel,
and it's very cruel. And as a huge Whoopi Goldberg fan, I do not want to watch her worst movie.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't ever want to watch the worst movie made in a year. And that one qualified. So don't make me. And so, yes, I'm thinking of the viewers, but more importantly, I'm thinking of myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
so thank you for switching.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it might have made good content, but I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, so I couldn't tell you.
And now you don't have to.
No, I don't have to. You saved me from that fate. I've seen a lot of Whoopi Goldberg. I love Whoopi Goldberg as well. She's one of my favorite comedic actors in general.
Yeah.
And I just didn't ever see that one. I guess for good reason. But yeah, no, these 2 movies that we're going to talk about, were released same weekend. Brett Spiner appears in both. I did. He's
Oh, there are more. Hey, I've got all kinds of connections between
yep.
these two movies that
Really?
you are not ready for.
Oh.
But yeah, Brent Spiner is, I think, the most obvious.
Yeah, in kind of smaller roles. I mean, than I like. I mean, I had never seen Phenomenon before this, so but he's only in one scene. Spoiler alert. I don't know if that's a spoiler.
He's in a couple. He's in a couple. He's at the very end too.
Oh, does he show up at the very end?
Yes.
I mean, he interviews him. He's the guy. He's the guy who does the interview for him. I don't know. That's the only thing I. Yeah, and then I could have. I mean, I was so surprised by, and we'll get into this more when we talk about Independence Day. But I have seen this movie probably more times than any other movie that I've seen. It's probably this or Twister for me. I've also seen Clue a lot. And the animated movie Hoodwinked.
Just in the day after, the day after tomorrow, whatever that one is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that one a lot. Yeah, I am a lover of disaster movies.
Mm-hmm.
So 2012, The Day After, or whatever that's called.
After tomorrow, yeah.
I have seen those so many times. If
Same
it is
director.
on TV anywhere, I'm going to stop and watch those movies. And I have DVD versions of them, which I think I did donate to the library. But I probably should have saved them for you. Okay. Anyway,
I do. I didn't realize this. I have, until you said that. I'm like, I'm pretty certain I have Independence Day, and I do.
Yeah, you do.
I didn't have to stream
it. I had it too.
Why did I stream it and watch all the ads on Tubi? I have no idea. I have the physical thing.
I watched it on Apple Plus.
Oh,
it was on Apple Plus, yeah.
I was on Apple. I didn't have Apple Plus, but currently. But
I figured you could do the Tubi ad this time.
Yeah, Tubi's really great.
The Apple Plus.
It is not Double Feature Movie Club unless someone watches it thing on
That's
Tubi.
True.
I feel like so. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I'll set this up here.
Set that up there so people can not see it. Okay. Next to Bigfoot and your pink flamingo.
Behind the shadow of my head, so it's not going to
Evolution is happening back there on your bookcase.
Yeah.
Pink flamingos and Bigfoot.
Yeah. That's crazy. I had Twister as well. But Twister and Independence Day are probably the two ones I've watched the most. And it's just been on TV. So like when I sit down and watched it, I'm like, I don't know if I've ever seen the first 10 minutes of this movie. until this rewatch here, because I've always just caught it on TV when it was going on, and I kind of just filled in the gaps. I don't recall having seen the first 10 minutes of Independence Day until this rewatch. So
good for you.
Yeah.
So yes, it starts with the moon landing.
Yeah.
Yes, you get to get the plaque of the moon landing that was left there by our astronauts that I watched live in 1969.
Yeah, there you go.
On the floor. I had to sit on the floor back then to watch TV because as a required younger child of the sibling group, you were required to be on the floor and be the remote control. But my parents let me stay up to watch this. And so I cannot begin to tell you how irritating it is when people talk about it being a conspiracy theory.
Oh, because it's fake.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
How could the flag be standing up? There's no wind on the moon. Well, yeah. They did spend 6 months trying to figure out how to make that happen.
How to make it.
Before they took off. Yeah, there's a whole book about that. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. I
love
had
that.
never seen that. And I never I had seen like the Will Smith's thing, because it is 20 minutes into the movie, like where he's introduced way later than I just don't remember that first 10 minutes.
He wasn't that big of a star back then. He had done Breaking Bad at that point.
Breaking Bad.
And then he had done Bad Boys, and then he did this, and then he did Men in Black. So that kind of tells you where he was at on his. So he really was
early in his thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad Boys was the year before, and then Men in Black the next year. Yeah. So it was very much on his the beginning of his career there. Yeah. No, he was. Yeah. I guess I don't know. I guess we could jump in. Just want to jump into anything before we just talk about Independence Day that you want to talk about?
No. We talked about July 4th.
July 4th. Are we watching anything? We typically would.
Should we? Well, you know what? I went to a comedy show on Friday night.
Yes.
Saw Kels Cooper. And
Yes.
Kels Cooper, local comedian. Oh my gosh, it was so good. They actually had, it was like a contest, a competition of 9 comedians. Yes,
Yes.
and each comedian got 6 minutes, and then you could rank, the ones you liked the best, and it was very enjoyable
Yes.
because in 6 minutes they can't bore you.
Yeah, they had to have a high five or whatever. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I think some of them had tighter fives than others.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kels was great.
Yes,
of course, Kels was great.
Which, I mean, good segue. I mean, in this time in which we've been away from Double Feature Movie Club, I have been doing a sketch comedy group that
That's right. I forgot about that part.
Never been promoted on this podcast because we haven't done it. But yeah, no, Trouble Start. I guess I'll plug it here. We're in the middle of producing our second season. It should be out next month is what we're hoping to start the rollout and everything. But Kels is a big part of this new season, and she was in an episode of the last season. And that's been really a fun project, and I hope you check that out if you haven't checked it out already. It's Trouble Start on all the platforms. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why we haven't done this in a while, is because I've been preoccupied with that. But I don't know. What I like about this podcast and why we brought it back, and like I said, I don't know if I announced this up top, we will be for 5 episodes. It'll be a very short little thing, but I like how we just make this, we put it out there and people can listen to it, and it's real easy listening. It's just a conversation, and the technical side always gets me and Diane whenever, and just beware, this is our first time back, so if there's any technical issues, we were rusty already on our first episodes back on the season. I can't imagine what this one's going to be like.
Who knows?
Yeah.
All I know is that my microphone is now working as a microphone instead of a prop for Trouble Start. And so
look forward to that. You'll see how the microphone was used.
Yes, we had a microphone as a prop.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's been a lot of fun watching you guys create Trouble Start and your the shorts that you're making for that, and it's been really difficult not to laugh out loud when you're trying to film.
Mm-hmm.
And not be caught on the microphone. So I try to limit my exposure because there's I can hear you guys, and I can hear some of your line, and then I have to be really quiet so I don't laugh really hard. But it's been a lot of fun watching you guys be creative and come up with these amazing stories and some weird stuff that I have to admit at my age is kind of, why would you have a relationship with a toaster?
Yeah, no.
Is it a bread thing? Is it like an illness? I'm not sure, but it was fun to watch the progression, I guess.
I mean, I'm literally, because we haven't used this for very many things anymore, but it has become a place where I put a lot of my props and things. So I have a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
From
you deserve that too. How many wars have you stopped? 9 now?
Yeah.
9 or
so
10?
There's quite a few things. There's a Joanna Louisiana concert ticket. There's a lot of things around here that I'm like, there's spoilers as well that I can't, there's something in this box I can't say, but
you can't talk about that box now.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
That's a big
Let me do that. Yeah.
So,
and I think this room that I do the podcast from is the only room right now that is not in a Trouble Start scene.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We got to keep it for, because it would break the illusion. People would say, "Isn't that Diane's the room that Diane records Double Feature Movie Club from?"
Yeah. You can't use this room. Thank God.
Yeah.
A room that you guys can't use. I have a couple of places that are off limits in my house, and this one was not one of them, but I think I'll make it one.
Oh, cool.
So a lot of fun. It has been fun. I have to say, it's been fun watching you guys get your creative out.
Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, we just put out a new little film that was just I don't know, a week or so ago, and it was Aaron Turns 30, and that was a fun one to do. And it's like a little found footage horror. It's been really fun to just make things and to be moving forward with all that. What
was the thing? What was the thing that was in that one that I had never heard of before? That you introduced me to? Yeah,
Yeah.
Randonautica. I'm ready to try it.
Yeah, it was big during the pandemic is where they had this boom.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of, I don't know, it's not as much of a thing, but it was, yeah. Okay, well, that's enough plugging Trouble Start and everything. We're going to do this show now. So yeah, we're going to be talking about two films that were both released in the July 4th weekend in 1996, 30 years ago. First, we're talking Independence Day. Second, we'll talk about Phenomenon. But first, let's launch into our discussion about Independence Day, our feature presentation. It's a fate that today is the 4th of July. And, once again, we're fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And we should win, and should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day in which the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We are going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Woohoo! Yay!
Thank you. Little.
Got your back, Mr. President. Ran you away blind.
I'm gonna, get into the. Hey, I belong in the. I'm a combat pilot. I belong in the fight.
That's right.
I love that was of course a speech, one section of Bill Pullman's famous speech from Independence Day. I discussed. I don't know if we have to describe the plot of Independence Day. Aliens scum attack they think, well, maybe they're friendly, and then they decide that they're not. They've blown up our parts of our cities, and then they decide to take the fight there, or they develop a virus and then they blow up the whole thing, and that's Independence Day. It's a disaster film in which I imagine most people have seen portions of, and it is by far, I was looking up today, I'm like, this has probably got to be our, certainly the most famous movie that we've covered here on the podcast, if not the one that's like, because that's grossed the most. I mean, we typically pick a little bit more niche things, but no. Not today. We are talking Independence Day.
Not today, because it's Independence Day.
Yeah. I love this movie. Like I've said, I've seen it more than most movies ever. I think it's just perfect blockbuster filmmaking. I don't think there's a scene I would take out of it. I think every single thing moves it forward. I think it's just a really perfect film of that. I think even within the disaster film genre, I think it's the best of the best of that. Yeah, I don't know what your thoughts on Independence Day is, Diane.
Here's the deal. I love the fact that they have to go to Area 51 to save the world. Yes. And that these aliens had been here before. I mean, they just kind of tied it all in with all the, at the time, conspiracy theories about UFOs, and they kind of bring everything together, and the fact that it's saucer shaped. I mean, it plays into all of that of the times of 1996. You have to always think about that term, 1996. The other thing during
I think it's
this
in the shadow
time
of
frame,
like X-Files and like all of those like early, that sort of thing. Yes, and Roswell. I mean, it ties in like all that. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah. And it launches some more of it. And yeah, because at the time, these were the things that were really popular, I guess is the best way to put that. I think the other thing, this was during the time, this is after Bill Clinton was elected. So we had Ronald Reagan, who I don't know if people realize that had dementia his last term. And then we had, HW. These are both older men. And then along comes Bill Clinton, who, no matter what you think of him at this point in time now, at the time, he was young and vivacious and brought all this energy. And it was kind of the beginning of the good-looking and energetic presidents that could kick your ass.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Dave with Kevin Kline. I don't know if you ever saw that movie. Great little American President movie. You have The American President, written by Sorkin, and Michael Douglas played the president. You also had Air Force One.
Love Air Force
with Harrison
One.
Ford. I know, another
too.
great movie. So it was kind of the time of it was like, okay, so the old guys are out now. So we got this young guy in. And so we're going to have these movies that show a president, a different type of president than what you'd seen before. Mm-hmm. Right. And Dave was actually the first time that you actually had this kind of comedy or movie in any way, shape, or form where you had a president that wasn't stoic and old. Now, somehow we came full circle back to the old guys, but that's neither here nor there. This was during the 90s.
Yeah.
And I think people would vote for any one of those guys right now just because they were young.
Yeah. Well, and I think it was fascinating, like I had said in the previous part because of this, I think if I had seen it, it has been years, but I do not remember the first 10 minutes of this movie because I've only seen after that. And how much setup there was, which not a whole lot. This movie moves at a brisk pace. It's like a line or two, but about like the situation that the president's in. Like they have. I guess I never really knew that sort of setup of like that. Bill Pullman's character. They say that. Like it's like set up that like because of this he's not he has his approval. The line was he has an approval rating below 40%, and that he and it's has to do with the fact that his crime bill didn't pass, and that caused this they put in this combat pilot as president, and then like he hasn't really been able to accomplish any of his legislative.
Sounds like the Clinton presidency. I think this is 94, so this is after. Well, I don't want to get into politics.
Yeah. But no, it
really, it parallels that really well, doesn't it? It's like,
yeah, I just found it like I'm like in the fact that there's just a little bit of that, and like I love how. There's just little bits of history that's interjected into this, like that obviously there's like this, like how, I'm only going to address these people by their actors' names. I don't know what their characters' names are. So, I mean, there's all these different, they're all sort of connected in different ways that you wouldn't expect. And so, my God, what's his name? Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum.
This was peak Jeff Goldblum time too.
Oh, he's so good in this.
He was 43 and he was like, it was after Jurassic Park.
And in my head, like, as a kid, I never really saw much of a difference in like Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park and Jeff Goldblum in this, but like. Having seen it now and kind of look, they are very different characters. They both have Goldblum isms, but they are not. They're very different characters. I mean, Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park is like showboaty, sort of like I'm the rock star. I mean, he's still very smart, but he's
very
rock star
arrogant
scientist.
about it. Yeah.
Yes, arrogant scientist. And then this one is a lot more. He's a lot more closed off. He's a lot more neurotic. Whatever this character's name is in this movie. I found that to be, and he's like obviously a lot more. There's this whole kind of love story sort of thing of like him trying to get back with his ex or whatever, or like. Not trying to get back, but like there's just that tension there that exists, and I
who works for the president,
for the president, and I never really knew, and that he knew Bill Pullman before he was president and all that. And like I found that to be all very interesting backstory of that, and that's I think watching this the first time, I'm watching this as like a film instead of just as like the entertainment that I had always consumed it as and everything, and I'm like, oh yeah, there is a lot of little interesting things here that. Makes it more nuanced and interesting than like all these people just met each other for the first time or whatever.
With a huge cast.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge cast. I'm sure the scripts were a lot of lines, and those lines had to be there's so much setup in such a short amount of dialogue.
Yes.
As far as introducing the character, establishing where they are at, and then giving them an arc and propel the movie on, right? So
Yeah.
it does a lot of work. Who wrote this? I forgot. Is it Devin?
Yeah, it's Devlin. Yeah, Dean Devlin.
Devlin? Yes. He did the Librarian movies, which are kind of a little bit cult classic movies with, the guy's playing the doctor now in The Pit. Anyway, he did all those. And he also did a TV series that I don't know how many people actually caught, but if you ever have a chance to catch, is Leverage.
Yeah, you've talked about Leverage.
Because they're really twisty plots, really interesting characters, and same thing. Each line does a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Every line in those scripts do a lot of work, and that's where he just seems to be really skilled at that.
And like each
Didn't he
character
also
is a very unique character, and so
unique?
It's not like I think a lot of these disaster movies and a lot of like I just think blockbuster movies in general as they've come along, it's like the way that people speak is samey. And it's like
Yes.
that this person could have said this line, it wouldn't make any difference. Like maybe they'll have one kooky like comedic character, but then everyone else is
Randy
straight
Quaid.
laced. Yeah, everyone else is straight laced, and you could have been said by any of these characters. And it's like, no, I think that's like this is very clearly each one is unique, and then the performances are unique, which is something that I also think that we've strayed away from in a lot of like these types of movies or these big ensembles. Is like everyone's playing it straight or whatever, and it's like, no, they're kind of all stocky sort of characters. Like these are like this one's kind of more like I think we've moved away from having these sort of stock characters in movies. Like they all have to be very realistic or whatever. And it's like I don't think it takes away from the realism of this disaster movie for I don't know, for you to have like the former CIA director, and he's like, kind of buttoned up, straight laced guy. I mean, like, or like the generals are very like. They're just military generals, and they're playing it like the stock character that is. And it's like, that's cool, and that's fun, and I miss that part of movie making.
I love the fact that you have the guy who you would cast as a general, Robert Laguna. He's, perfect casting for that particular character.
Yeah.
Makes it so stoic, but loyal to the country and, there for the president. I mean, he could have changed the course of the entire, plot with his character.
Yeah.
Because it had that much power, because he was able to bring the gravitas of being that how many star general, head of the Joint Chiefs and all that stuff. Right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's in like that could have been a character that was a nothing character. And I think in a movie today, it would be a nothing character in order to like serve the plot and to like not distract from your main characters or whatever. But it's like, no, he gave a really good, serviceable, like it's a minor role, but like you remember it, like and it doesn't take away from any of what everyone else is doing. In fact, makes the whole world a lot more colorful. I think this has a large cast, but I was also kind of shocked by, in my head, it was like much larger of a story than what it is, but it's really kind of a smaller story than like literally like all your characters kind of converge in even like these group shots. It's not like there's only so many like fighter pilots that are taking part in this thing. Like it's not as like huge as like we tend to make movies anymore. It is like it's just the people who came over in the caravan and the army people. Like it's not like they're bringing in a whole bunch of reinforcements over there. It's relatively smaller than I kind of remember it being. Yeah.
Well, I think they used the global impact to make it look bigger too. They weave into it what's happening in other countries.
Yes.
As well, and their communication with other countries, and trying to bring everything together. And I think that makes it
feel
bigger.
Yeah. It doesn't feel
bigger.
small. It doesn't. It's a movie that it feels very like, but like even like when they're blowing up these monuments. Like that was the first time. Like I mean, you think of like these, it's this widespread impact, but it's like it's really you see it all from like a street, like one street in New York City where this happens, or in L.A. or
and 3 cars slip over.
Yeah, but in my head, it's like this gigantic thing because I mean they're blowing up these huge things, but it's like no, they really kind of made it very small. But you know, your mind fills in the gaps, I think.
Yeah, and then I think a good use of characters here was like Harvey Fierstein.
Yes, I was going to mention him.
He represented the panic.
Yes.
Of the masses. I mean, he was the voice of that panic.
Yes.
You know, and even though they have other people that are kind of sprinkled through, you know, the mass panic to get out of the city, he's actually the voice of it. And what perfect casting for that person.
So
I mean,
great.
you know what I mean? You couldn't have found anyone better who could be the voice of the panic out there. Because he's got that voice.
He's got a voice, and like that character serves so many different points throughout the script until he's gone. I mean, he's over in like the first act, but like the fact that like before that he's essentially the sounding board for Jeff Goldblum's character, and this is the person who's like able to, as Jeff Goldblum is, you know, receiving this information, he's the one who's like giving him that information and is also interacting with him, and like and it's a fun character that you have in order for that to happen. I think of like that scene, I was in awe of there's a one shot in this, which is where they're walking throughout that office. It's Harvey and Jeff Goldblum, and they're like walking through the office, and how it like snakes around this whole thing. It's really interesting, and it's like I'm like, how do they like mic them? Like I'm still just was kind of like because like they're walking in and out of these rooms and around, and this camera's like up from above, and it's doing like I don't know. It's just like this movie has so much energy throughout it, and it doesn't ever stop. And it's not like exhausting. Like, I mean, I shouldn't say it doesn't ever stop. It's always moving forward, but it, you know, it has ebbs and flows. But it's,
But the speed of it changes. Mm-hmm. When it gets to down to the human stories of the characters that we're going to care about, to help us care about that, that's where it slows down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when Jeff Goldblum tries to call his wife.
Yeah.
Right. And and to convince her he's figured something out, and she hangs up on him. You know, that was it that conversation, that act was slow after all of the, you know, speed that was going on before that on both sides, within the White House, you know, in Goldblum's office. I love the fact that they brought in the, is it Nettie, where they listen for sounds from outer space?
Yes. Yeah.
That's how they were able to tie all that in for Jeff Goldblum to figure this out.
Yes.
Because he had the unique skill to put ones and zeros and sound together. So anyway.
Yeah.
I doubt that he's the only person in the world that could have done that. But in this movie, he was the only person.
He was probably the only person that had an ear of the president through his staff. Like they make that kind of clear for that reason. Like,
right.
Because that was an interesting part of the movie of just like how, I mean, there's always been that idea. Like there's been it's been in the news just this last 2 months about like whether or not, where Obama made a comment about aliens, and that, like, you know, and it, like, and that was a whole conversation that he believes they're out there, but he doesn't like have this, supposedly doesn't have this knowledge or whatever. And there was a lot of pundits that talked about it, of like that they worked on staff of the White House, and they're like, well, we don't know anything, and that'd be a widespread conspiracy. That would mean that you would even be keeping the president out of the loop of. And I think this movie directly addresses that like, the president was kept out of the loop of this information, and it seemingly, that was like, I mean, like the CIA knew, but even members of the military didn't know that.
Yeah, the military didn't know, and
yeah,
and yes, just the head of the CIA, which was such a swarmy guy. You know,
Love
and now
that.
you have because you have an expectation that the head of the CIA is going to be kind of swarmy kind of guy.
Well, and the fact that like, so that's one of the weird, interesting things about the movie. I'm like, because like that's where like things have to like connect in these different things, and like every scene is like serving three different things, like these characters, and then like moving the plot forward, and like, and everything has to be shown on screen or said on screen, and like that was a piece that I'm like, upon reflection, you wonder how, like, so Emil Hirsch, who is also great in this movie,
Yes.
he brings up Area 51 whenever they're on the Air Force One and in front of the president, and the president flat denies the existence of Area 51. And then this guy who we don't know yet, he's on the staff of the presidency, but we don't know yet that he was a former director of the CIA. I forget what he actually is in the movie. He's something on the cabinet, I would imagine, or on the on his like board or whatever. But he says, well, that's not entirely true. Was that guy going to ever bring up Area 51, or was he waiting for Emil Hirsch or someone to bring that up? Because it's within the plot of the movie. He was just going to seemingly sit silent about this and let the whole world get destroyed, unless specifically Emil Hirsch said, Area 51, you guys known about this for a while. And he's like, well, actually, yeah, now that that's been brought up into the conversation, that's true. But I don't know. That's just, I think, a script writing thing. But I that was one of the things that stood out to me. It was like, I don't know if he was ever going to bring that up.
Where were they going to go after NORAD had been blown up?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so they're talking about, okay, where are we going to go now? Because our target location has been blown up. So now where do we go?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, so
yeah. So then we have
the father of this guy that, nobody knows why he's on the plane suddenly brings up Area 51. Yeah. I agree. That's kind of but it gave him something to do. And you know what? He needed, the more he was on screen, the more entertained you were.
Yes.
I mean, how in the heck did he and Jeff Goldblum get from New York to Washington, D.C. in a car?
When in the middle of all of this chaos.
In the middle of all this, it just kind of went, well, how did that happen? Yeah, there was no helicopter waiting on the roof or anything. It was like, okay, let's get in the car and drive to Washington, D.C. Oh, and we'll just stop at the gates of Washington, D.C., and they'll let us in.
In the middle, yeah.
They will, even though the aliens are attacking. Yes,
they've already blown up.
Because,
yeah. Or I guess they haven't blown up anything at that point. Yeah.
We accept this from our disaster films.
Yes.
Because we just accept that because we're really there to see stuff get blown up.
Yes.
And this movie blows up a lot of stuff.
It does. And I mean, the effects are, I guess we could say, are really good. And I think a lot of them really do still hold up today. I mean, there's some like compositing shots or whatever that's not as great, but like the actual, I would put this up against any modern day movie of explosions. The fact that they make a model of the Empire State Building, or the White House, and they actually explode it and everything. Like it looks cool. It's really good stuff. It's really good stuff.
The only thing that's kind of jarring in their destruction of everything is seeing the Twin Towers, and you see them at the beginning of the movie. Intact, and then you see them get destroyed in this movie, and it's kind of weird. It's 5 years from now, this is really going to happen to this.
Yeah,
these buildings.
Well, I guess it's good that they chose the Empire State Building to do the actual attack on, and not the Twin Towers. Yeah,
well, because there's two of them.
There's two of them. Yeah. They needed one thing, I guess.
They needed one.
Yeah,
we just needed the one for the laser. And what building was it that they used in L.A.? Was it the Capitol Records building?
It's that bank, the Citibank or building. I think it's what it's called. I think it's.
You're gonna look.
I'm gonna look up because in my.
Those are some.
Yeah, I know it from GTA where it's called the Maze Bank building, but that's not what it's called in real life.
Well, anyway,
the U.S. Bank Tower is what it's called.
U.S. Bank Tower. Yeah. Well, anyway. It's a great way to depict a laser beam exploding a building. Use one of those big skyscrapers.
And it's interesting because, like, do they only attack? I mean, they obviously had these other ones across the world that were coming around, and they were doing that. But like, did they in that first attack? They only attacked 3 cities in the U.S., right? Was that?
I have no idea.
Was that the way I understood it, or was that not? Like, because like that was the way I understood it. But in that they were kind of starting to go over these other cities, but they hadn't done that yet. This is the way I'm understanding it, unless there was some sort of line that I missed of like they had also. Those are the only 3 that were in America, but then there were ones all over. I don't know. But
I don't remember. I just assumed that was happening all over the world.
All over the world. Yeah, I knew
because,
that they had other ones over the world, but I didn't know if they actually did it in that first attack.
Because other governments would be doing things too, right? Yeah.
Yes, and there's a whole thing about spreading that, and like that, and giving that information. I had a note. One of my notes on here was I've talked about this on other things too, and it's just something that I miss, and I do think it's starting to come back in our like big budget movies, but watching this is something that I just miss is the absolute earnestness that this moves at. Like it's not like it doesn't undercut its moments; it plays it completely. Like this is okay. We know this is a ridiculous movie. Everyone knows that. But we're going to take this seriously, and we're going to, have it have actual heart and have actual humor, and everything doesn't like the humor doesn't undercut the heart. It's just, and everything's just like completely straight. Like I just don't think that they would do that. And I think like I think it's shifting. Like I said, I think it's shifting in the most recent years. I think of like Wicked was very earnest, and there's a lot of these other things that are now. I think the last Superman movie was very earnest, but I do think it's
Barbie was very earnest.
Yeah, Barbie was very earnest. So there are these things that are starting to do that. So I can't say that, but like for a while, you would have to have it be where you couldn't have that speech from Bill Pullman without it being undercut with some sort of joke. Or to be undercut with some sort of mean-spirited thing too, like there that was the other thing. Is like you couldn't depict hope in any sort of way, and it did in now, and then that's what I think was missing. I mean, like this has that, and I'm glad that it's coming back in films. But
it's not. It doesn't have any. It's not cynical.
No, it's not. There's not one ounce of cynicism in this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not cynical in any way. It's like
just destroying of the world. Like even like it deals with like the disaster stuff. Like it's not like it's flippant about the disaster stuff either. Like it has weight to it, but it's also like we're gonna kind of get through this and we're going to defeat the. I mean, I think of Randy Quaid's character. There was a way to kind of like. I don't know, shame. I mean, like there's like people kind of roll their eyes at like his story and everything, but like the movie believes it, and obviously that character, like it still gives him a moment of actual, heroism or whatever, and heroics or whatever you want to say about that.
Yeah. Well, I think too at the time, like this is the mid '90s, right after the end of the Berlin Wall and the downfall of communism, which ended the Cold War, which is where I grew up hiding under a desk as if that's going to save you from a nuclear bomb. And I think at the time, it was like the only thing that could bring the whole world together is if the world got attacked by an outside source. And we're probably at that point again, but it was at the time important to depict that in movies. And I think you see that in a lot of movies where the world comes together because so much of it had been torn apart through the fall of the Soviet Union. Yeah. Maybe not so much here in the United States, but across the world it did. So it's having a hopeful, inspirational movie was where the world comes together and puts their differences aside to fight for the existence of humanity it was a big thing. I mean, I think that was something that was needed at the time.
Yeah.
And it's probably why this was such a big hit, this movie was.
Yeah.
Because I think people needed that.
Yes, I think so. And I think I think the fact that it continued to get airplay on basic cable and all that post 9/11, I think also showed that people were wanting that as well during that sort of time of like, that whether that was like nostalgic looking back or whether that was something that they wanted or whatever, but like the fact that it still is something that people
I think really human nature is people want to come together regardless of their differences if there was something bigger than them to fight for.
And I think that's something that's which I know you haven't seen, but I think like this would be a really interesting thing to put with Disclosure Day, that new Spielberg movie, because it also deals with a very similar sort of thing of like what if aliens sort of existed in it, and what that would mean for humanity, which it takes a completely different sort of look at.
Will we come together or not?
Yeah.
So,
or whether that like what that would mean, and why that would be hidden or something, from people. Or whatever.
Can we talk about Harry Connick Jr.?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Did you know he was in this movie?
I did not. Who's he in this?
He plays a fighter pilot with Will. I mean, he's only got a couple of scenes.
Oh, okay.
A few lines. Yeah. This is after he had done Memphis Belle, but I mean, yeah. I just thought that was so interesting.
Oh,
that
he's that character.
Movie.
Okay. He's the one who. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I didn't recognize that was him, but yeah, of course it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And at the time, right, of in his career, he was calling people up, going, "Can I be in your movie?"
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of glad that he showed up in this one. And then Vivica Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Just loved her. I loved her when this movie came out, because here you have finally a woman being depicted not as a victim that has to be, saved, but as the person doing the saving.
Yes.
And all throughout, her character does that throughout this movie. She's the one who's saving everybody to get them to the next level. She's moving the plot along too. And I think she doesn't get enough credit. I don't think
that she's been given enough credit of like, she's just a really good actress, like in general, like in like, I mean, in Kill Bill, she's amazing in, like, I mean, there's a lot of these things that I like more and more I've seen of her. I'm like, I don't know if we really ever properly given our dues to what I think she's just really good on screen, and just her way that she sells lines and everything. Like, and yeah, she's amazing in this movie.
Well, you have three couples in this movie. You have Vivica, and then you have with Will Smith.
Yeah.
And they have chemistry.
Yes.
They have real chemistry together. It's a very believable situation for them. And they have real chemistry. Bill Pullman and what was her name? You told me it the other day.
Yeah.
I know, we talked about her the other day. She was in there with, Kevin.
Yes. But yes, her,
anyway.
And the fact that where she's, what they do.
And they don't even have a scene together until the very end.
Yeah.
And still amazing chemistry, totally believable. Bill Pullman is present, totally believable.
Yeah, but they weren't. Yeah.
And then Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum's has really good chemistry with the actress there. Yeah.
Yeah. So so you have these. It's almost like a romantic comedy playing inside this disaster movie. Yeah. With these three couples or these six characters.
And I never really when it gets overshadowed by, of course, all these other things, but like the wedding scene is just a really, really good scene just right before, the final act. And, in like how that's like used for both of the couples, and how that's with Jeff Goldblum.
And it's kind of the introduction to the final act too.
It is.
It's where the movie is moving at this rapid pace, and then it has to slow down for this wedding scene and this interaction between these four people, between two people, whatever. And it sets up the final act.
And
it slows down the movie for that.
That exact scene done poorly in so many other things. Like when we have to slow down, we have to do this, and it seems convoluted, or it seems like I could see this exact scene where we have to get every character that's in the film in that that room, and they all have to look and be like, and they all have. It has to like, and at that point it becomes diluted, and no, it doesn't mean anything. But like the fact that they're the witnesses, it also works for it says a lot about their relationship too. Like it moves everything for. No one's there that doesn't need to be there. It's I think a really solid little scene that's like you're kind of. There's a screenwriting term for it of you're sort of night of the soul, I think is what it's called, something like that, where it's like it's that sort of moment before everything goes away. I also read that the sale of dolphin rings skyrocketed after this movie.
Mm-hmm. I have one.
Yeah.
I do. I have one.
Yeah.
I have a dolphin ring.
She loves dolphins, and then a bunch of the close-ups of that and everything. Yeah, it's a sweet
They
thing.
were very popular. I have one that has a little sapphire in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Margaret Colin who played opposite of Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
And then Mary McDonnell.
That's it, yes.
An amazing actress that we've seen her in so many things. Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
Dances with Wolves. Yeah, so many things.
And Margaret Colin's been in a few things too. I kind of... Yes, she's been in Gossip Girl. She's in a few.
Yeah, she's very popular.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of characters in this movie a lot of people in this movie that are in a lot of things that we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Even Adam Baldwin, who plays the officer that shoots the gun at the Coke can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's kind of the voice of the military at that point where they're executing, where they're going to
Brent
execute.
Spiner, I know we talked about him a little up top, but so good in this. Like he's just I think in a lot of respects we were robbed of a really great character actor. Like he doesn't really of course everyone knows him as Data, but like this is about, I feel like the only other thing that I really have seen him in that I know of immediately that this is a fun character, and I don't know why we didn't get him playing a little bit more of and it's completely nowhere near like Data, and both of them are very strong out there characters, and I feel like we could have gotten a lot more of these kind of weird eccentric characters from the guy, and that was one of the shocking things about this movie is I kind of thought he was in the movie more than he was, but he's not in it.
I did too. He's not in it near as long as I thought.
No,
For some reason, I thought he was in it longer.
I thought he was in it quite a bit because he's one of the standout kind of weird performances, and he is not in it. I mean, he is probably, I would say, the most famous death scene of the movie.
Yes.
And I've seen that, parodied and done a lot of different ways. But yeah,
I was looking to see what other movies he was in to see if there was any that were, he was in The Big Bang Theory, but more as a takeoff from his character as Data.
Yeah. I just don't, I don't recall him really doing that much. And it's he now has a podcast with Jonathan Frakes. They have a podcast together.
Oh, really?
And it's supposed to be really
cool.
good. I listened to an episode of his with an actor I knew, and it's pretty good with the two of them. But yeah,
the fact that he's in both of the movies that we're reviewing today,
I know,
or something.
That was the connected piece. Yeah,
That was a shock.
But yeah, other notes I had on here is I thought the virus thing was very much of its time, but it's fun and everything. I had a note about, I had never noticed this before, and I had to back it up of did I see what I thought I saw? It's a single shot whenever they're uploaded the virus and everything of a command center similar to the one we have here on Earth, but it's an alien command center. So it's a bunch of aliens on their computer screens, similar to kind of how ours was, or you would see at NASA.
Yeah.
And they're all on their computer screens. And there's a giant screen of Earth. And I'm never else in this film is there anything remotely like this where we see the perspective of the aliens. But for a single, I don't know, it's on the screen for maybe 2-3 seconds of this movie, there's a shot of these aliens at similar desks as ours. It's almost comedic, and I'm no wonder they didn't really show this too much or whatever, because it is so it's so weirdly
so
comedic.
on the nose.
It's so on the nose that they also have a command center, and they have just a hologram of Earth at the top, and I'm yeah, that is from a completely different type of movie, but I think they had to show the virus working or whatever, and so it is a strange shot, and I'm that is weird, and I've never noticed that before. So I want to make a note about that. I have a note about Must Go Faster. Just the fact that Jeff Goldblum, he says that line both in Jurassic Park and this. Whenever he's must go faster, must go faster. Yeah, it's been brought up a million times, but I just find that was it in the script both times, or were those both Goldblumisms? I don't know. I would imagine they're both Goldblumisms. But the fact that he says the phrase must go faster, both when he's outrunning the T-Rex and the aliens, is a very specific thing. I was also shocked because so another movie I like that it could have easily been a double feature for this one, but we decided to do same weekend stuff. I love Mars Attacks. Mars Attacks is another one of those movies that I absolutely love. And I always thought that Mars Attacks was half a parody of Independence Day, but it was released the same year, just a few months later, in that they were just developed parallel of each other. And it just so happens that Mars Attacks has a lot of things that are very, very similar to Independence Day. And that led me down a whole rabbit hole of like how like that's just crazy to me that there's just so many like plot points.
But that happens, right? You look at Kevin Costner doing Wyatt Earp and the other one with Al Kilmer. Yeah, it's like,
I mean, you have Volcano and Dante's Peak that happened the same year, and well, Deep Impact and Armageddon.
Yeah, and one of those, in every situation, one movie is a lot better than the other one, or at least has more appeal.
Yeah. Well, it seems to have happened quite a lot to Roland Emmerich, because then like White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen was they were the same time too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not the Roland Emmerich one. Sometimes his stuff I think especially in his later sort of filmography, he becomes a little bit more cynical and dour in his things that like, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I never saw I know you watched the sequel to this. I never watched the sequel to Independence Day, but I know that was a lot of people brought up is that it doesn't have the kind of fun that this one had, or like in a lot of his other, like more, I think Moonfall was the type of movie that should have had a little bit more humor. It's about the hollow moon, and it's still just so dour, and it's like, I don't know why he's went that direction with his films. I don't know.
I don't have an opinion one way or another.
Well, cool. I think that's the only thing that's all the notes I had. I had a note about the last thing I saw is that another difference as to why how it differs from, I think, a lot of movies today is that there's no sequel set up. There's no even like epilogue to this movie. They crash the aliens. They say, "There's your fireworks." They smoke their cigars, and then shot of the alien ship just on fire, and then directed by Roland Emmerich, and just cut to black.
That's it. We're done.
We don't need any more. You got it. They lived happily ever after, or whatever. Just fill in the rest of the gaps. The plot's over, and it just curtain close. And I'm like, yeah, that's smart. I wouldn't have wanted to see another 10 minutes of them being like, well, here's how married life is, and here's me going on a talk show and selling a book or something, whatever, like, what some of these other ones would do. And then a phone call. Oh no, we've checked the radar and there's another spaceship that might be coming, it ends.
That was before sequels became the norm.
Yeah. Cool. You have any other notes before we go into Phenomenon?
Nope. I have no other notes. I have one other note, but it really can't be talked about until we talk about Phenomenon. So.
Oh, okay. That's exciting. So that was our first feature. Now we're going to talk about another movie that was released the same weekend as Independence Day. If you went to the cinema on July 4th, 1996, you would have had two options. You could have went to Screen A and saw Independence Day, or you could have went to Screen B and saw Jon Travolta star in Phenomenon. And that's what we're going to talk about next. But first, a brief intermission.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's intermission time. All these delicious treats are waiting for you at the refreshment stand. Delicious fresh popcorn, ice-cold cola, and candy you know and love. They're all ready for you now, so you won't have to miss any of the feature. Come and get them.
And now, on with the show.
Oh, it's my turn. So we're going to talk about phenomenon, which I hope I don't have to say that too many times because I've had a couple of glasses of wine and it gets harder for me to say those kind of words. Anyway, this movie starring John Travolta was a fantasy drama film about a guy who lives in a small town. His name is George, and he is a mechanic, and he gains genius level abilities after seeing a bright white light from the sky on his 37th birthday. And the fun ensues from there. So let's talk about this, Cade.
Okay.
Here's your tie-in with Independence Day.
The fun ensues. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. And so here's the tie-in with Independence Day.
Okay.
Who directed this film?
It was Jon Turteltaub.
He did. He also directed, and it's the only time he ever directed a rom-com.
Oh, what? I don't know.
You didn't know about
he did National Treasure is about the only thing I know Jon Turteltaub did. He did like a lot of weird things. What did he do? Let me know.
He did While You Were Sleeping. While You're Sleeping. And it is one of the top 10 Christmas movies of all time. You have to watch every year. While You Were Sleeping is on everyone's list. Yes. And Bill Pullman is the lead in it. So we have him as the president. And then we also have him as the romantic lead for the While You Were Sleeping. So this is the tie-in.
Interesting. That's
right?
an interesting tie-in.
We didn't know we were having a Bill Pullman night, but we are.
Yeah.
Whether we meant to or not, we are.
I feel like Brent Spiner's right. Brent Spiner's right there. And it's more of a double feature of that.
You think it's a closer tie-in with it for him?
That's a closer tie-in.
Than it is. Because you can go to his page and see both films, right?
Yeah.
So
and like the fact that he was in two movies that same weekend, and then like because I looked up like later that year he was in Star Trek First Contact, which is the best next gen Star Trek movie, in my opinion. I think most people agree with that. But that was all in '96, and that was probably the peak of Brent Spiner's career, which is sad
because he was wanted everywhere. Yeah. And he doesn't has a minor role in this one again, not huge, but consequential.
Yes.
I can't even say that now. So consequential scene within this movie phenomenon. So I kind of love this movie. This again is a movie kind of about hope. It's inspirational. It's not cynical. At the same time, it has some realism. Becomes melodramatic. Kind of throws in some realism you really wish you didn't have to see, but you knew would be inevitable. You know, the government would get involved, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. But I kind of love the way that the flow of the movie is one about hope. And it's also a rom-com, and it's also a sci-fi, and it's also, when I remember the first time seeing this, before you knew what the ending was, that what on earth, it had to be something. Was it aliens? Was it a UFO? What happened to him? And at the time, seeing a bright light like that doesn't necessarily mean, it's an aneurysm. I didn't say what I just said it was, aneurysm. It had something to do with the brain, but anyway. So at the time when this movie came out, it could have been an alien. Who knows? It could have been.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, I would say that there was an equal, for what the film had set up, it was enough. Like, I think people would be on board if it having some sort of supernatural band. And I kind of assumed it would have that. I didn't not knowing kind of where it goes in its second half, that I assumed that's what the whole film was kind of hinting at. But instead, it takes a very different turn in the second half.
And I just wonder how, it's been so long since I got to see it for the first time. Did you really enjoy the first half of the movie when you really didn't know what was going on with him and his progression?
I'll just be completely honest. I was not a huge fan of this film. I'm sorry to say that.
No, well, I understand that, but the story itself, what do you think happened to him?
Yeah, I would have assumed it was just, that it was some sort of cosmic event that only impacted him because he saw it or something. Or I could see you even going a different route of it affected a few people worldwide or whatever. But it like, wouldn't have expected it to have such a kind of like realistic sort of ending that it ends up having, like a grounded in reality. Because like, to me, it, like they go through this sort of thing of like, there's no science that can sort of explain this sort of thing. And I wouldn't think even then though where they go with it. Cause so he develops, I guess we'll just be clear. You said on his 37th birthday, he sees this light that appears in the sky. And he like falls over and then he's from that moment on, he has like telekinetic powers and like, he's just genius and everything. And so I think you can wave away a lot of things, but the telekinesis is a weird one. That's a tough one to kind of figure out of like, because immediately that takes it to a place of supernatural elements. And so
he explains it. He has to explain that more in the movie than anything else. Right. I mean, he talks about, he's reading 3 books a day and no one is saying, how in the hell are you reading 3 books a day and comprehending that? But he does say a few times, I'm reading this many books a day. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay. But the telekinesis part is the one where no one can get, how does this happen? And he explains it. I think the same way we would expect over and over again. But
it becomes the thing that they can't deny. Like everything else of like that they're like, well, this is just could be some sort of party trick or it could be a lie. Like I don't know Portuguese. I can't, but like I do know that you moved that that paper clip or whatever, or that pin across the room, or you broke the glass, like those sort of things you can't, it's harder to deny. Whereas like, these other things you're like, well, maybe he learned it some other place, like they all come up with these different reasons as to what that could be.
It's that one skill that he develops that scares people the most.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And the people that are from his town, the people that know him the best. Let me put it that way. The government was afraid of him because he could crack a code, but the rest of the people in his life became afraid of him because of telekinesis.
Yeah,
because of what he was able to do with his mind.
Yes.
And when he finds the little boy, I didn't look to see if this was based on a book.
I don't think it was.
Because sometimes it wasn't. Okay, mainly because sometimes these kind of stories are better as a book than they are as a movie because it's really hard to depict being a good book. Yeah, everything. Yeah, it did say on here it's a good-natured weeper with agreeable and sensitive acting, which
it's
is a nice thing to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very low key. It's very like if you wanted like a chill sort of thing. It's not like there's nothing like. It's not like I think that juxtaposed with Independence Day, like where everything is kind of this one is very kind of even keel. It moves at a kind of pace like that, which is to me it feels like, and I could be totally wrong and everything, but like I cannot imagine that the first like half hour of this thing is how it's written in the script. That this is somehow had to be either condensed or somehow chopped up or something, because it's actually a little incomprehensible the way that the first part of it works. And like, because like they don't set up the first 10 minutes of the thing isn't like, they are not setting up this world. In fact, they set up so much of the world after the incident that it seems weird that like that wouldn't be before the incident that occurs to him. Like you don't get that he's a mechanic until after that, or there's a lot of these little things that's like set up after, like, whereas like you would imagine the way that it is, you imagine that that's sort of the way that it goes. Yeah, I don't know. Like you'd imagine that they would set up this whole thing, show that this is a change that happens and is changing him, and then see how that impacts things. But like, that's not how they tell the story. And I get the feeling that was changed in editing. But that's just because they wanted to start with like this big thing happens, or like you start with the instigating thing a little bit. Because you don't meet
Yeah,
Kyra
I think-
Sedgwick until after the event happens too. Like it's weird. Like the only people that you really meet is the doctor.
No, he invited her to his birthday party. Remember?
He did, but it was off
There,
screen.
and remember, no, that was on screen.
Oh, it was on screen. Okay.
She came to drop off the chairs, and he said, "We've
yes.
sold them. We just got one left." Yada yada yada.
And, that was
And then
Forrest
he
Whitaker.
also they also show his inability to keep the rabbit out of his garden.
Yeah.
That's part of the initial setup of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically, they spend most of their time in the setup portion of it just to show what an average guy he is.
Yes.
Just an average guy. Although he looks like John Travolta, which is kind of...
and he still does the voice. I don't know why he does like the kind of... like, what is it, Danny Zuko or whatever? Yeah, he still does
He's still
hey,
in that time frame. Yeah. You know, he had done Pulp Fiction at this point already.
Yes. So he's started his resurgence. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's done so he's started his resurgence, but he's still kind of doing that. I don't know. Let's see. So he did Pulp Fiction and then Get Shorty, then Broken Arrow, then Phenomenon, and then Michael, which is a really much better movie in my opinion, but it gets the lower ratings all the time. Yeah. And then he does Face Off. I mean, and then Primary Color, so he's kind of morphing. He's still metamorphing, yes. I guess is the right word, into a real actor at this point. He's not, you know.
Yes. Well, he had such a lull in his career right before Pulp Fiction. Like, I mean, that was what, like, he
was doing that.
But that was
years. Look who's talking.
Yeah.
Look who's talking now. Look who's talking too. I mean, it's all these.
He was a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, like he was a failed star. I mean, it was however you want to say it. Like that's kind of until Quentin Tarantino revitalized his career with Pulp Fiction, and he gave a great performance. And so that's what brought him back. And yeah, I mean, this one's strange. There is sort of Scientology-esque things, I guess you could say. I mean, it is about the opening of, I guess, your mind or whatever, and they do a bunch of finger wagging to scientists in this movie, and it's like, and even healthcare officials, which is like, don't like that, but there it is. But yeah, that's Phenomenon for you. I don't know.
He did 15 movies from 1995 to 2000.
That's insane.
It is insane, but they're all around the same ratings as this one.
Yeah, so, I could see that. I mean, they were all a lot of his stuff was very I don't know how you want to say it, controversial. I mean, like they were. I mean, they were also like big swings too. Like I don't know if anyone like Michael and this were both very and like a few of these other ones there in Battlefield are like they're strange films that seemingly only he could get produced and like come out of this sort of weird mind thing of like that have the strangest politics too. Yeah, wherever you want to say it, or not politic, but you know what I'm like a point of view or whatever.
Let's see, what was I gonna? I had a couple of other notes here. Eric Clapton has a song in it.
Oh, in this?
Yeah. Yep. I think it's called "Waiting for Ignition." I could be wrong, but he does. He wrote a song for this movie.
For this movie, interesting.
Yeah,
that's fascinating. There was, I just think of. Was it heavily? I'm looking at the soundtrack for this too, and it's. I think that it looks like I think that was the opener. Was the one the Eric Clapton song, which makes sense.
Yes, it was.
It was a J.J. Cale song in this. There's a lot of things. It was that's that. But I think there's "Have the Touch" by Peter Gabriel. I remember that being in the movie. Yeah, there's the haircut shaving montage was awful. Can I say that was one of that was excruciating to watch.
It was excruciating to watch. I kept thinking of Robert Redford and Meryl Streep in Out of Africa. If they were going for that, they missed it. I mean, they completely missed the mark. You know.
But they really thought this was working. And I don't know at what point it was like, it was weird.
Well, at the time, you got he was still being billed as a sex symbol, right? But he was tubby, so you couldn't take his shirt off.
Yeah.
So he had to do something. And what else does he have? Hair.
But like,
yeah.
I mean, I just, to me, that's such a weird, I don't know. I mean, I just, that to make that like a weirdly sensual sort of thing. I mean, I get it. Like that was a thing in a lot of movies. I mean, you think of like Ghost and different. There was a lot of like those sort of montage scenes happened, and I think that this was like, well, we have to have that, and I agree that that's probably the.
We have to have one. So let's see, which one are we going to choose? Right?
Yeah. Any other notes I have on this was like, Forrest Whitaker did not have to put in that much work into this. Like he is like doing, like he's swinging for the fences with this, and it is doing really, really good work in this movie that I don't think really deserved him to do all that. Like shots, like I think of even later in the film, I mean, whatever, but the spoilers, whatever, but whenever Robert Duvall comes to play in the second half of this movie too. I'm like, why is this Robert Duvall throughout all this? And it's like, oh, okay. It was later in the movie where he gets to be Robert. I'm like, this is a waste of Robert Duvall until later.
He probably wouldn't sign up unless he had, the soliloquy or whatever.
Well, I mean, like, Robert Duvall is one of the greatest actors. I don't know if that's controversial to say. I think of all time. I love Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
And how he's able to kind of. I mean, he's just casual about how he does. But anyways, point is, he's giving this prognosis to John Travolta, and Forrest Whitaker is out of focus in the background of that entire shot, just absolutely selling the reaction, like just out acting like John Travolta, who's getting this news. And Kyra Sedgwick, who's having to be sad, like he's in the background, just absolutely like nailing how you would react to this sort of thing. And like I'm like that he's just amazing. And like, and I don't know why, like he like I said, like he put in, I think, way too much effort into what this movie ends up being. But yeah, I mean, amazing.
Well, he was pretty new in his career at the time too.
So maybe he had something to prove. Yeah.
Well, he was trying to get noticed still.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was going to look, because I counted his age and I thought, oh my gosh, he's so young.
Yeah.
Compared to, he was younger than Jon Travolta or Kyra Sedgwick. And no, he's the same age as Kyra Sedgwick, I believe.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was fairly, he's 64 now. Wow.
Yeah, and he's in a lot of movies, but I think like he was smaller roles in a lot of those movies and everything. This is before Ghost
the
Dog.
thing is that you can watch a movie like this and see him in, or other actors in, and it's the first couple of movies that they've really had a little bit bigger role, and see that they're really going to be great someday. And that's when I see Forrest Whitaker in this movie, I think, at some point this guy is going to, be the last king of Scotland.
Yeah.
He is someday going to be that.
Well, if the fact that he can take this and like outshine all these other people, I mean, I think a role like this is tough for a young actor, because I think he plays it so naturalistically that you would assume that he's like this character. And it's not, knowing his career and everything and where it goes. I mean, he's not remotely like this character. And so I think that's always a tough thing with these, with young actors, of like, you don't want to be too good at something or you're typecast in that sort of role. Cause this guy's like an idiot. I don't know. That's meant to be nice or whatever, but he's simple. I don't know how to say it, but like, that's kind of the way that it's played a little bit. And that is, and he's nice and charming, and everything, and he's I mean, the whole thing's about him he does a radio show from his house or whatever, where he tries to get Diana Ross to notice.
He's a ham radio operator.
He's a ham radio operator, and he tries to
He
get
didn't
Diana
have like podcasts then.
Yes.
Yeah. Just so you're aware.
I'm aware,
96.
yes. Well, it would be like, I guess, if I was, trying to get, Diana Ross to notice. Oh, that's what he was
Well,
doing.
him radio operators, they're just putting it out there in the airways.
Are you having fireworks happening in your neighborhood?
Can you hear them? Yes.
Okay.
The war zone has started here. I don't know what to tell you except for Ollie is not happy about it.
Okay.
And
I thought it would.
I may even have a mess to clean up later because he's going to be too afraid to go outside. It's going to be one of those kind of deals. Although, I was looking at Forrest's list of movies, and in 1995, he had done The Enemy Within, which was like his first big starring role, I think. Maybe not. I thought it was around that same time.
I also noticed that I forgot. He was also in Battlefield Earth in 2000, so that's not the only movie he's done with John Travolta.
No, and he's probably done more than that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a person who's been in a lot of films.
Yeah.
I mean, they both have. Yeah.
136. Lots. Yeah. He was in Arrival. I forgot he was in Arrival. Okay. Anyway, I digress in this. So, as far as recommending, if people haven't already seen Independence Day, watch it. You have to watch it.
I forget that's what we're supposed to do at the end of the segments.
And then, but as far as phenomenon goes, I think it's a good way to fill a rainy afternoon if you don't want to pay for something.
Yeah, it's on.
I've seen worse.
It's on Prime for free if you have Prime Video. Having to actively watch something, it was a chore for me personally, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to play my game, and I'm going to not it's not a movie that really can sustain Independence Day. I think works both ways. Now, having watched it both, I've watched it as background noise. I've watched it as actively watching it. It works both ways as a movie. This movie, I really don't think you can't. If I was locked into a movie theater in 1990s, well, maybe not 19, but in today's world, I think it would be rough for me to watch Phenomenon. But like you said, if you're doing other things, if you're doing and it's on or whatever, it's that.
I think if you're a fan of classic John Travolta.
Well, yeah, if you're a fan of John Travolta, you have to watch this movie. Yeah.
He dances in it.
He dances in it.
With his bloodhound.
He
always has a dance scene in these movies.
It's probably contractual.
This era of filmmaking for John Travolta, because it always has a little dance scene in there.
Yeah, I didn't have. I mean, the only other this is a screenwriting thing that gets on my nerves, and it's so specific. But it's the "What's your first name" thing in this movie that really got on my nerves, and it happens a lot in films, and it's just one of my little nitpicks that gets on my nerves. John Travolta first says that to Brent Spiner's character, as a thing of trying to break down that little wall of what's your first name and everything, and that's set up in the movie, and then it's paid off later when Kyra says that to this other government official who comes to their place to look for him or whatever, which is fine from a viewer perspective of a setup and a payoff, and I can see in a lot of those, but she was not there when John Travolta said that the first time. We as the audience saw it. Yes, we as the audience know
we were.
It makes no sense for her to have learned that, and unless this happened off screen somewhere that she's seen John Travolta do this with somebody else. There is nothing that she didn't learn. There's no learning or anything like that. This is either or she just so happened to redo this again. I don't know. It's just that's just a weird little screenwriting thing that gets on my nerves. It happens. Another one of those big ones that it happens in, and it's a near perfect script, and I love it. But Dark Knight, it happens in Dark Knight. And it's one of those things of that is just when someone points it out, it's like, oh, that is tough. You always like to play it close to the close to the
Okay,
chest.
I have to tell you this.
Yeah.
I have to tell you this because we're not in person with each other.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I have never seen Dark Knight.
You've never seen The Dark Knight?
No.
Wow. That's crazy.
Never have.
I love The Dark Knight. It's one of my
I know you
it's
do.
one- it's
You
a
talk
perfect
about
film.
it. You talk about it a lot.
You need to watch The
And
Dark
I
Knight.
have never seen it.
Well, here, if we were in person, I would hand this to you. It's The Dark Knight
That's okay.
on screen.
I know you would have it, yes, because you're a huge Christian Bale fan.
I'm Christopher Bale. I'm a Christopher Nolan fan. I'm Batman fan. I think it's just great.
You have the whole thing, yes.
Yes, it's perfect. And Heath Ledger's performance, extraordinary. Well, cool.
I haven't
Well,
seen
we need
The Dark
to.
Knight Rises either.
That's fine. I mean, as time's gone on, I mean, I really only The Dark Knight. I only like Batman Begins all that much. But
To me, the perfect Batman is Michael Keaton because he was the first. And the first Batman I ever saw was Michael Keaton.
I see, and I don't care for the first. We're going to get into really because people feel very strongly about all these Batman movies.
Oh, I know
don't,
they do.
I don't care about 1989's Batman all that much at all. I love Batman Returns. It's with Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito and did you ever see that one? Michael Keaton's Batman. But it's Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
She is the Catwoman. Yeah, I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That one to me is, I think, the best quote unquote Batman movie because I think it's the one that's like the most like what it does with the characters, and I love Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Oh my god! But I think that The Dark Knight is the best movie that has Batman in it. Like it's the best movie. Like it's just a solid film. But I don't know. I wouldn't call it. It's not the best quote unquote Batman movie, if that makes any sense.
Okay, so which is the best Spider-Man movie?
See, I don't like. To me, it's not even like. The best Spider-Man. I don't know. I don't know what I would say the best Spider-Man movie because I'm not a Spider-Man fan, but I've seen them and I like the movies and everything. I guess Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah,
but he's not my favorite Spider-Man. I like
for the
Tom
long
Holland.
time.
I like Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, Tom Holland's been a really good Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for a long time, that Spider-Man 2 movie was like led all superhero movies for the longest time as being one of the best superhero movies.
Yeah. I mean, I like it a lot. I think it's, but yeah, no, I think Dark Knight's just one of the great films. But yeah, and then it just so happens to be a superhero movie as well. Yeah, well, as you can tell, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about Phenomenon. It was what it was.
I mean, it was kind of cookie cutter John Travolta movie.
Yeah, it takes an interesting, weird left turn in the second half.
No sequel.
There's no sequel.
No sequel.
I don't know how they would do that one.
Yeah. And it was interesting watching him become genius, you know, and how, and then as the movie goes on, how frantic he becomes with it too. It's an obsession now.
That's to me the more interesting part of like where it becomes.
That he couldn't stop. But after the aliens gave him this gift, he just couldn't stop it. He had to keep going with it. Yeah,
and like that, the impact. Like I kind of there was a way that like that almost becomes like the point of the movie is like how people tear down greatness or whatever, or like how it ends up just being like secondary to a love story, which is where I was like, okay, but to me that was the more interesting part of the movie is that like they were all like, oh, this person can help us and he's so great and everything, and then it ends up being like the moment that he's kind of like weighed down by this pressure, it ends up being like the negativity comes in and how everyone like he can't do enough for these people and and then they start second guessing him and tearing him down. Like I think that was the most interesting part of the film to me personally.
Yeah, it was. And I think one thing that was big in 90s films, and I think still is to a point, is having the gratuitous woman.
That you just have to have it, yeah.
You just have to have the gratuitous female character who, will love you no matter what and will wash and cut your hair and shave you.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
Well, and then
'Cause-
doesn't understand why you can't just love her. Like that's the whole thing for like the first half is like she's like I just want to be your romantic partner. She's like, no, I don't know. And then that's just the whole that whole thing of
because of I got my heart broke. I don't want to get my heart broke again.
That wasn't a
all
good
of that
answer,
was
Diane.
that was unnecessary. Well, she had 2 kids. Do you want to introduce some strange man to your 2 children?
But don't you understand? He deserves her in his mind.
Yeah. Well, and the problem is, I think that's still going on to this day.
Yeah.
Every man believes they deserve Kyra Sedgwick.
Yeah. And she's taken from Kevin Bacon. She's also really, not in this movie. Let's be clear. She's not great in this movie, but she's good. She's great in a bunch of other movies.
Didn't really have a lot to do in this movie.
No. It's tough. It's a tough role. It's a very tough role.
The gratuitous chick.
Yeah. And be sad. Oh no, I was wrong.
Really
or whatever.
be sad.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to hold his hand at the end.
Yeah. But,
right.
So many other things. Have you ever seen Edge of 17? She's amazing in that movie. Watch it at some point. It's a more recent thing. She plays a mom in that movie, and she's great. Woody Harrelson's in it. It's a good movie. It's a good little movie.
She's a good actress.
Mm-hmm. I think she's
but
great.
This was at the point in time where these are the kind of roles that,
yes,
actresses like Kyra could get.
What was she in? She was in The Firm? What was she in? Is that what she was in?
I don't know.
She was in one of those. She was obviously the closer. Forgot she was the closer. She could do comedy too. That was that's the thing of I don't see her enough in she can sell comedy really well. Yeah. I don't remember the one I'm thinking of at all. She's in Singles. I remember that was good.
She was in Secondhand Lions. That was a good movie. I enjoyed that movie. It had Robert Duvall in it. It was good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She was really good in Something to Talk About too. With Dennis Quaid, and she plays a sister in that one.
Yes. Yeah, there's a few things.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of movies, but a lot of supporting.
Born on the 4th of July. That was. I was like, she was in something with Tom Cruise. That's what I was like. Yeah.
Born on the 4th of July. Which Born on the 4th of July. Tom Cruise deserved an actor for that. I mean, he deserved awards for that.
Yeah.
But I think he was so early in his career, nobody wanted to give it to him because he was considered like a teenage boy actor.
Yeah.
But he from that point on, I think he just had a grudge against all these people, that do awards and stuff like that. Cause
have you seen his trailer for his new movie? It's like a montage of his past work. It's almost like a fan edit of his, but he's working with Inarritu, or however you pronounce it, the guy who did Birdman, and it's quite clear that he's wanting an Oscar for this performance, and that's what he's gearing up for, that whole thing.
Well,
because it's transformational. He's playing an old man in this movie, but they also haven't revealed his face yet. So it's like a whole thing. But he's in this cowboy costume, and he's in this old age sort of thing. Yeah. So.
The only movie that I've seen of his that I thought he deserved an award for was Born on the 4th of July.
I thought he was really good at Magnolia.
It is stellar. Magnolia, he was good in that too. But
I don't know what
he was amazing in this.
Yeah. I mean, Magnolia was a small role. I mean, it was but yeah. Well, cool. That was Phenomenon. As you could tell, we did.
Oh yeah, that was Phenomenon. We were talking about Tom Cruise. Scientology. There's a theme.
Yeah, there's a theme. Yeah, they're gonna save everything. Okay.
There's a theme. We've got Scientology people now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now we're gonna head into preview time, and we'll tell you what's coming up here on Double Feature Movie Club this season.
Yeah.
And now, Preview Time. When it comes to entertainment, you can't beat a good film. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Okay, let's take a look at what's coming your way. Well,
What's coming our way?
it's kind of crazy seeing all these these transitions and these things. We just kind of fell right back in it, don't you think, Diane?
I was dancing to the music.
So next up on Double Feature Movie Club. Now, if you watch us live, we might be at a little different times, but we'll still be, out as an audio podcast the way that we do this. But next time on this crazy little experimental 5th season, so the idea for this season is that we are doing movies. If you didn't catch from what this thing was about, movies that came out the same weekend and that are celebrating their anniversary. So this year we did the 30th anniversary of Independence Day and Phenomenon, and then next week we're going to be celebrating the 25th anniversary. I could do the math. They're both released in 2001. 25th anniversary of these two films that were released. We're going to be talking about Evolution. It's David Duchovny, stars David Duchovny and Julianne Moore, and then it's directed by Harold Ramis. And then the other film we'll be watching is The Anniversary Party, which is a more independent sort of film, and it was written, directed, and starring Jennifer Jason Leigh and Alan Cumming. So that should be fun. It has a really good. Both of them have a large cast of characters and different things. Neither Diane and I have seen either one of these movies, so it should be fun. Evolution's been on my list for a while now, and it should be.
I'm surprised you haven't seen it because it has David Duchovny.
Oh, I love David Duchovny
And Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe you haven't seen it.
Yeah. It's one that's kind of like now gotten a lot more, like it was kind of forgotten its time, because I think it was compared against Ghostbusters because of the people that was involved. And I said Harold Ramis, and I meant Ivan Reitman. I do sincerely apologize for that mistake. But yes, it was directed by Ivan Reitman. So that was the guy who did Ghostbusters, obviously. And yeah, it should be, it was compared against that as they kind of were like, this is going to be the next big thing or whatever. And then I think it fizzled out. But now I think people have got a little bit of a cult following for the movie. So we'll see. I'm excited to see whether it's good, or if it was, a hidden gem, a forgotten gem, or whatever, or if it is actually not great. I don't know. Should be fun to figure that one out.
Should be interesting. Yes.
And then, no one really talks about Anniversary Party, but it seemingly got great reviews at the time, and it also has a really excellent cast. So,
well, it has Alan Cumming in it. How,
yeah,
he's getting a lot of press these days, right? For his reality TV show he hosts.
Yeah, the trailer.
And I just noticed Kevin Kline's son is in this with Kevin Kline.
Yeah.
I wonder how many movies the two of them have been in together, because this is one of them.
Yeah. Well, I guess it has because Phoebe Cates, who's married to Kevin Kline.
Well, and Greta Kline's in it too. Wow. So it's like the whole family is in it.
Everyone's got the whole thing. Yeah. So it should be interesting to see. I think it's supposed to be kind of a fly on the wall. Parker Posey's in that one. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow, yeah.
So
John C. Reilly.
That's crazy. Well,
Jennifer Beals. It's got a lot of people in it. It's a talkie one.
Yes, it's
nothing's going to get blown up in this one.
No.
Kind of sad about that part.
Well, I'm sure something will get blown up in Evolution, I'd imagine. So you'll have that.
Yeah, I'll have that. It'll be fine. Since you like talkie stuff, have you watched the 4 seasons on Netflix?
I have not.
It's a remake.
I know.
Original. It was a movie with Ellen Arkin and she just lost my head. Mm-hmm. Carol Burnett. Mm-hmm. It was a movie, and then but they've done this series, on Netflix, and they've done 2 seasons of it, and each season I think has 8 episodes. Mm-hmm. It is really good. stellar writing in it. I mean, it's just, yeah. Sorry, I should know this. As far as I shouldn't have brought it up without knowing who the writers were, but
I know it's like Tina Fey. I know that's
Tina Fey
yeah.
is one, and then the guy who was the last man on Earth. I don't know if you ever watched that.
Yeah, Will Forte.
Yes, Will Forte's in it. Steve Carell. You know, it's just a well-written series. And it's, adults. It's very adult, themes and a lot of talkie going on. You'd like it.
Okay.
Yeah, you should add that one to your list.
I need to watch it. I'm about over. I got to watch the new House of the Dragon episode come out tonight. It's already out, so I have to watch that. But yeah, this is fun, Diane. I had a fun time here.
I've kind of missed talking to you about movies, Cade. I haven't even. This has been a kind of a interesting year for me. I've not even been to the movies hardly this year.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen The Devil Wears Prada 2 because I was kind of hoping a friend of mine would ask me to go because knowing what a big fan I am of that,
it's a good movie,
but he didn't. So what can I say? Anyway,
well, not to preview, not to say we will be seeing some new movies toward the end of this season. So if you want to, be looking forward to that, everyone.
Yeah, some that are new releases, not just the old stuff. Yeah. Not just the 25-year anniversary of the anniversary party.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I didn't realize, it's the anniversary of anniversary party.
Of course, you don't even remember 25 years ago because
I don't.
How many memories does a 4-year-old have? Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
I don't.
And unfortunately, I do remember 25 years ago. So,
yeah. Soon we're going to be celebrating the 30th anniversary of something very important, later in the year.
Not that much later. It's like 2 months from now, right?
Yeah.
And we still haven't figured out what we're going to do to you.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Well, that's Double Feature Movie Club. We're back for a little 5-episode run just for the fun of it. Hopefully you can enjoy this. What do they need to do, Diane? They need to click subscribe and like. They need to
click subscribe and like all the buttons. Just click them all.
Click all the buttons.
Leave us a comment or two. Tell us how much fun you had. You would like to hear Cade tell dad jokes.
Oh, let's not.
Which are really, it's kind of sad hearing you tell dad jokes.
Yeah.
Let us know if there's a movie you'd like for us to preview for you.
Yeah. Let us know.
Not that we'll do it, but we'd love to.
We kind of have it planned already, but there's a chance we maybe already saw the movie and we'll give you our thoughts on it.
Until yesterday, Cade thought he would be talking about a Whoopi Goldberg movie this tonight. So see, things can change.
You're right. Things can change. Yes. Well, cool. It's always good to be back here, Diane, doing this Double Feature Movie Club. 56.
Glad to be back.
Episode 56.
Episode 56. Great. Almost as old as me. Have a good one.